Hello, my name's Jobby. Hello, my name's KevDog, and this is the Figma 573 or 416 from Max Factory. And if you don't know what Girls Frontline is, it is a mobile strategy role-playing game for Android and iOS. And if you don't know what the HK416 is, Google it. I'm just joking. It's an assault rifle made in no other country but Germany. And how accurately does this depict my fantasizations of this gun being an anime girl? Pretty accurately. But first, let's get the figure out of the box. The painting and sculpting on this figure is pretty good. Comparing it to its 2D sprite in-game, this figure really captures this character's design, almost one for one. We can see details like her German flag are pretty well printed on, although I wish the paint was slightly thicker. Like on some places on this figure, like the typography, it looks a bit thin. And the red cross on the shoulder could have been a little bit deeper. Moving down to her sleeves, she has an iron cross insignia, which is printed on both sides. The pouches around her waist are all individually sculpted and painted pretty well. There is a knife sheath, but unfortunately this is not functional, unlike this pistol holster on her thigh. To get the functionality out of this, all you have to do is get the small little pistol and put it in the holster, just like that. Her hair paint, unlike the body, is pretty thick and looks like it's pretty durable. Moving to the back of the head, yes, it is a bit jarring. We do have this gigantic M for McDonald's, but it is what it is. Moving the hair away, we can see that the waistband continues around, and we also have our stand port right there. Speak of the head, what better time but now to check out the face sculpt. As usual for Max Factory figures, the face printing is very good. Unfortunately, my unit seems to have a bit of a droopy eye. Is droopy the right word? I'm not really sure, but her right eye is too far to the right, and it makes her look like she's glaring off to that side. But that's not the only face that comes with this figure. If we simply just rip off the hair, rip off the face, we can put on her smiling face, or her looking off to the left face. As for her accessories, she has a set of open hands, fisted hands, grabby hands, stock holding hands, and finally, gun holding hands. She comes with this handbag looking thing or whatever it's called, and it has this little peg on the back. This peg plugs into that little hole there, so you can simply just slide this around her arm and plug it in, like so. And once it's plugged in, the peg allows for it to have a bit of posability due to a small ball joint. So this will stay in place when you move the arms around. Alongside that, you also get that pistol that you saw before that you can put inside her holster, or you can give it to her by putting it into one of the gun holding hands, which is quite a simple task. All you have to do is just feed it through there. And as for the main event, other than the figure itself, is her weapon. And obviously this is a HK416, and this is detailed very nicely. I believe this is part of the little armory line, but all the little accessories such as the silencer and the mag can come out. And last but not least, you have her hat, which you can put onto her head just by using this little plastic tab. And it's very easy to put this hat on. All you have to do is remove the hair just slightly so there's a bit of a gap. Then slot the hat in carefully without bending that tab, and it should just sit on like so. Press the hair back in, and there you have it. And with a little bit of posing, you can get her to look exactly like her sprite. Did I say posability? Ball joint at the back, rotation at the base of the neck, side to side on the head, up and down that far, ball joint inside the shoulder, shoulders move out that far, hinge joint at the elbow, rotation at the wrist, rotation at the hand, up and down, double ball joint at the waist, which allows for up that far and down that far, ball joint at the waist, rotation up in the leg, oh shit, hinge joint at the knee, another hinge joint at the foot, ball joint at the legs, a beautiful spread, forwards and backwards that far. Unfortunately the skirt gets in the way, and there isn't any kind of hinge ball joint thing that moves down from the waist. She also comes with a standard Figma stand, which has a hinge joint, and also this little plug thing, which is on a little bit of a swivel. Same goes for the base. And one more thing with this figure, it isn't unique to this figure alone. A lot of Figmas have this issue, but paint chipping. Do be careful with the waist ball joint, as you can probably chip the paint right here. I haven't done it yet, but I've chipped the front paint here when I was messing around with her rifle. And also with her hands, just be careful because the undersides are painted black. Those things can chip quite easily, as you can see there. One thing I kind of wish they would do instead of having that piece of plastic that sits on the head is use a magnet instead, because this piece of plastic from a previous Figma I had got crumpled when a figure toppled over. And for size comparison, here's Executioner, Double Eraser, and Shockwave. And if you weren't already aware, this figure is 1/12 scale. So what do I think of it? I think it's pretty okay. I wouldn't say you should jump right out and buy this figure immediately, but if you are a fan of Girls Frontline, then maybe you should pick this up. However, with Max Factory's recent quality control, I would only really buy this figure if you expect the issues you saw in this video to come. But anyways, that's pretty much it for this review. Make sure you leave a like and consider subscribing, and also tell me how your experience has been with Figma figures. So far, most of my figures have all had issues with quality control in some way or another. But before we leave, I'll give you one more reason to subscribe. I recently ordered 2 Snail Studio figures that have piqued my interest. I'm curious to see if their quality control is much better than Max Factory. Anyways guys, thank you for watching. Make sure you leave a like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.